Now comes the fairy tale by the Brothers Grimm. The Wolf and the Seven Little Kids. Make yourself comfortable. Once upon a time there was an old goat who had 7 children. One day she wanted to go into the forest and get some food. So she called the little kids together and said, "Dear children, I'm going out into the forest. You stay here, but beware of the wolf. He must not come in or he will eat you." The wolf often disguises, but you can recognize him by his harsh voice and black paws. Then the goat set off. A short time later there was a knock on the front door. A voice said, "Open up, dear children. It's me, your mother, and I've brought something for each of you." But the little kids recognized from the rough voice that it was the wolf and called out, "You're not our mother, because she has a fine and lovely voice. You a deep and rough voice, you are the wolf." So the wolf went to the grocer and bought a large piece of chalk. He ate them, making his voice light and delicate. Then he went back, knocked on the front door again and said, "Open up, dear children. It's me, your mother, and I've brought something for each of you." But the wolf had put his black paw on the window and the little kids called out, "We're not opening. Our mother doesn't have a black foot like you. You are the wolf." The wolf then ran to the baker and said, "Put dough on my paws." Then he went to the miller and ordered, "Spread white flour over my paws." The miller suspected that the wolf was up to something bad, but when he refused, the wolf threatened him, saying he would eat him if he disobeyed. The miller was afraid and strewed the flour over his paw. The wolf went to the little kid's house for the 3rd time, knocked on the door and said, "Open up, dear children. Your dear mother has come home and has brought something for each of you." The little goats called out, "First show us your paw, so that we know that you are our mother too." Then the wolf put his white paw in the window, and the little kids opened the door. When they saw that it was the wolf, the little kids were very frightened and hid as quickly as possible. The first jumped under the table, the second to bed, the third in the oven, the fourth in the kitchen, the fifth in the closet, the sixth under the basin, and the 7th and smallest in the case of the large wall clock. But the wolf found them and devoured them one by one. The only thing he didn't find was the youngest kid in the watch case. The wolf was full and tired and lay down under a large tree in the meadow outside. There he fell asleep. Shortly afterwards the old goat came home. She was terribly frightened when she saw the house. The front door was wide open, tables, chairs and benches had been overturned. The washbasin was broken and blankets and pillows were lying on the floor. The goat looked for her children and called their names, but they were nowhere to be found. As she called the name of the youngest child, a voice from the clock case said, "Dear mother, I'm here." The mother took the kid out and it told her what had happened. Sadly, the goat went outside with her child and saw the wolf lying snoring under the tree in the meadow. Then she noticed that something was wriggling in his big belly. The goat immediately thought that these were her children. She sent the little kid inside to fetch scissors, needle and thread. Then she cut open the wolf's belly and the kids jumped out one by one. They were very happy and hugged their mother. The goat asked her children to fetch large stones. They filled the wolf's belly with it and sewed it up again with needle and thread. When the wolf woke up, he was terribly thirsty, so he wanted to go to the well to drink. The stones in his stomach began to move back and forth. The wolf called, "What's that rumbling and pounding around in my stomach? I thought there were 6 little kids, so they're all rocks." When he got to the well, he leaned forward. However, the heavy stones in his stomach pulled him down the well shaft and the wolf drowned. But the 7 little kids ran, were happy, and danced happily around the well with their mother. Thanks for listening. A thumbs up and a subscription would be appreciated. Many exciting stories and fairy tales will follow.